Every nurse, every healthcare worker has that one patient, the one whose name you can't forget, whose face is etched into your memory. It's not always about the diagnosis or the clinical outcome. Sometimes it's about what they taught you, what they took from you, or what they left behind long after your shift ended. Welcome back to The Broken Shift. Today we're talking about the stories that stay with us, the ones that become a part of who we are. I remember mine. It was early in my career, a night shift in the ICU. He was an elderly gentleman, admitted with pneumonia, but his spirit was anything but weak. He'd tell me stories about his late wife, about the garden he used to tend, about the dances they used to go to. He wasn't just a patient in bed 4. He was a husband, a gardener, a storyteller. His condition was fragile, and we all knew the odds weren't great. But for a few nights, in the quiet hum of the machines, we connected. He'd ask me about my day, about my dreams. He treated me like a person, not just the nurse checking his vitals. Then came the night his condition took a sharp turn. It was fast, it was chaotic, and despite everything we did, we couldn't bring him back. I remember standing there after the code, the room suddenly silent, feeling this profound hollowness. It wasn't just the loss of a patient, it felt like the loss of a friend. I went home that morning, the sun was coming up, and I just sat in my car and cried. I cried for him, for his wife he was so eager to see again, and for a little piece of myself that I felt had broken off and stayed in that room. That experience changed me. It taught me about the incredible weight of the connections we form. We're trained to be clinical, to be objective, but how can you be when you're holding someone's hand as they share their deepest fears? How do you separate the empathy that makes you a good nurse from the trauma that can slowly wear you down? This is the hidden grief so many of us carry. We clock out, we go home, but we're still replaying those final moments, questioning every decision, carrying the weight of what if. This is the reality of our profession. We witness impossible saves that feel like miracles, and we endure quiet heartbreaks that no one else sees. We are expected to compartmentalize, to move on to the next patient, the next emergency. But these stories don't just disappear. They accumulate, shift after shift, becoming a part of our own story. Some of these memories break us a little, chipping away at our resilience. But others remind us exactly why we chose this path in the first place. They remind us of the profound privilege it is to be present in the most vulnerable moments of a person's life. That's why sharing these stories is so important. When we talk about them, we realize we aren't alone in our grief or our burnout. We find strength in knowing that another nurse, somewhere, has felt that same hollow feeling and has found a way to keep going. Your story matters, your pain is valid, and your strength is an inspiration. We believe in the power of storytelling as a form of healing. That's why we're collecting anonymous submissions for a future episode, dedicated entirely to your stories. If you have a patient story that you've carried with you, we want to help you share it. Send it to our email at thebrokenshifts@gmail.com with the subject line, My Patient Story. You don't have to carry it alone anymore. You're part of a community that understands. Thank you for listening and for being a part of The Broken Shift. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.